Okay. Looks like we're good here. We're live on Facebook, so we're ready. We're recording and everything is good now. All right. So
we got at least one doggy.
What's that?
We got at least one doggy.
Puppy.
Oh, yeah.
There's a puppy.
There's a doggy.
All right.
We take care of all types of audiences.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that is Molly. She has been really, down in the dumps, and she really wants like a motivating speech.
Yes.
We're there. We're
Hi,
there.
Scott and Tabitha. It's Kim. I just don't look very well, so that's why I don't have my video on.
Oh, that's okay.
It's okay. Just as long as you're here, that's the important
Yeah.
thing, right? That's
You look a little dogged.
But cute dogged.
Absolutely.
I love the bundle.
I love your picture in the background, that eagle. It's gorgeous.
Thank you. That's his favorite. So my panther's upstairs in the living room.
Oh.
This is just where we're doing our meetings for right now.
This is one office, and the other office is out on the big deck, and then we have another office under the canopy, and then
Nice.
yeah,
It's just we don't know what our neighbors are ever doing, so we're usually inside doing the meetings because sometimes they like to kick on.
Hello, I'll come on camera real quick. Look at my hair, I'm a mess.
we could always throw a hat on. It's summer.
Is that what works?
Yeah, I'm having a problem with mine too.
A little frizzy you got there, Chris.
Nice. Well, thank you for honoring us, Kim.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
All right, I guess we can. You want to get started, or see if
Yeah.
anybody else comes in?
Yeah, it's so amazing.
On live, so
Okay, so we got a few on live. We're here. More people jump in as we go along. So just welcome everybody to our monthly meeting for CNJ REIG. And I'm Scott Forge, your host, and this is Tabitha Forge, your host. And we bring you a monthly meeting of good topics here. When COVID gets lifted and we can actually meet, it'll be even better.
Yep.
We'll have the networking events again, and maybe we'll have more Zoom meetings. Right now, we backed off of that because there's so many people have meetings. We just felt it's an overload, and it's summer. Everybody's outside, so we went back to our normal meeting for the summer. Just end of the month Wednesdays. So right now we have A&A debris removal on, so we'll have one of them jump on and talk about what they do. They're one of our vendors, so they can decide who's going to talk.
Probably me, since he's in the car.
Yeah, more than likely.
I'm Ashley. I'm one of the two owners of A&A Debris Removal. We're a demolition and debris removal company. We do clean outs. We have a 20-yard dump truck that we use. We go all over New Jersey with it. Makes it more convenient if you're working in areas like Jersey City and Newark where you have nowhere to park. We are still moving about even with everything going on. We are doing our gloves and our masks. Our team comes in, takes care of everything for you, so you don't have to worry about anything. And we are licensed and insured, so you don't have to worry about finding some guy causing problems because you're protected with us. So,
Or wrecking the driveway.
wrecking the driveway.
yeah. We have a big incident with that going on right now. I just got off the phone with the lawyer.
Yep.
That's why we hire them, because they come in, they load it, they leave, they don't destroy your property.
Or somebody else's.
Or somebody else's while they're there. That's so.
Okay. Is there anything else, Ashley?
No, just if you guys have any questions, let me know. I can answer any questions that you have.
Okay, thank you. I
Awesome.
don't see anybody else from the other companies here, right? No, they're over there. All right, so another vendor that we have on board with us is Arcad Capital. They're a hard money lender. Right now they're lending on everything from flips to development to apartments.
Multifamilies, yeah.
Yeah, multifamilies. They're doing, I believe they're even doing rentals again. They went back to doing, multifamily rentals. So they have good terms. They have a lot of different programs and packages for everybody that's out there, whether they're seasoned or new. They're great to work with. They're local to us. They're local to our community here, but they are, I don't know if they're nationwide, but they cover a lot of territory throughout the country. They're good guys, and they still have their boots on the ground in the business as far as flipping, landlording, building. So they have their hands in it as well as lending on it. So that's why we wanted them as our vendor of choice for the group here. If you need any information about them, just reach out to us and we can get you their contact info and put you in touch with somebody that can talk to you about your projects or plans. Then we have,
Well, what's good also about ARCAD is they actually they started with flips.
Right.
So if you need help with stuff when you're in the middle of the project, that's why they're really good to use. So.
right. And they still do it. So
Yep.
That's why we know they're not just like your regular hard money lender who they came out of Wall Street or a fund and just created a lending company. They know what it takes to be in the business from the investor perspective as well as the lender's perspective. That's why, again, that's why we chose to work with them over some of the other lenders out there. Let me let them in. Okay, and then we have our third vendor right now. We have is they're not on either. Is Villa Homes, and that would be Derek Logan, Team New Jersey, and what they are is a foreclosure broker. They deal with foreclosure properties. So if you're looking for deals, you can reach out to them. They will work with you. Their whole team will work with you from start to finish on getting a deal. They will also do regular homes on the market, but their specialty is foreclosure properties.
They also help you, and they'll help you to buy them from auctions.
Yes.
That's my favorite.
Yep. Derek has been in the real estate business, especially with foreclosures, from one point to another for over 30 years. So he has a good background and knowledge in the foreclosure industry with banks and dealing with them. So that's why he's one of our vendors as well. That's it for our vendors for now. So we'll move along here. What do we have next month? Next month, we don't know what's going on yet. We don't know if we're going to be lifted or not. I do have a speaker scheduled to come on physically if they open up, because we don't know what our governor's doing. So we may be able to meet. We may
He's
not.
ready to be there.
Yeah,
He's
ready.
on live with us.
Yeah. So he's eager. We want him on. It's a good time for what he's going to be offering and speaking on to people in the real estate industry.
It's a surprise.
Yeah, well, not really, but it is. It's really great information. He just doesn't do it well over Zoom. So
He's that more interaction
Yeah.
type person.
yeah. So and then of course we'll have to, if it don't work, we'll switch him out with a Zoom call with somebody else, and we'll have to keep pushing him back so we can have him
Sorry.
live.
So.
We'll just
Oh,
continue our conversation from this month to next month.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was supposed to be in March, and we've been pushing him back and then I think it was June. We said, you know what, let's push it back to September, and now we're here, and we're like, well, what's going to happen?
There's
We
a
don't
certain point where you learn to get better at Zoom.
Yeah.
know. We don't have anything else scheduled because of that. We don't know where it's going yet, but we will have other great topics, like we always do, for you to learn and educate yourself in the real estate investment industry. And
Bring in great people.
right.
So.
I don't think we have too much else since we're still Zoom.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we play it by ear. We go with the flow.
So tonight we
Yeah.
have a great speaker. It's a great topic for you.
Mhm.
It's a perfect time because summer's coming to an end. We're coming up to the fourth quarter of the year, and a lot of things have changed this year. A lot of things are different, and people's progress has changed and their thought has changed. But tonight's a great topic and speaker for everybody to think about the future, where they're going, where they're at, what they should be doing, what they will be doing. And I don't want to take up too much more time or get into it too
Yeah,
much
but
deeper,
he's one of
because
our personal
he's our,
friends.
I mean, we've known Paul for 8 years now. I don't know if he even realizes that, but it's been 8 years that we met him.
Oh my.
And long time. But he's a great coach, great friend, And without further ado, we'll turn it over to Paul Fink, the Maverick Millionaire.
Yay!
Hey guys, we've got a great group here, and what I want to tell you is I've got my chat on, and most of you in this actually, we may not even need the chat if you. They all have controls to unmute themselves. Is that accurate?
Yes.
I am really interactive. So I have been a speaker for 13 years, and most of my time was spent on live events and stages. So this is great to see all of you and to engage with you. And I'm a professional. Anytime that you need to interrupt, speak up. I am all ears. And let's really make this a great interactive communication, because that's how people learn best. And what I want to talk about is really how to move the ball, how to move the process. Most of us have been entrepreneurs. I know I've been an entrepreneur for 35 years. And so I've gone through the ups and downs, the crazy, the bad times and the good times with all my different businesses in multiple different industries. And one of the things that I've learned is that there's only so much that you can blame on the outside world, that there's an internal game that's really important to create a magnitude of results. There's also specific processes, specific techniques and strategies that really move you to create success, move you to create that abundance in your world and to really shine, to step up and be your ultimate self. And with those components, we can really make a difference in how our business shows up, how our results end up being in over the next 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, and really make a difference by the end of this year and next. And so I'm going to share my screen and go into a PowerPoint presentation so that we get some really good details on what I'm talking about. And then I'll come back and open up and even open up to more discussion. And I'll go into some of my history as well. Like we said, I am the Maverick Millionaire, and let's see, you have disabled my ability to share my screen.
Did I? No. Hold on.
Indeed.
We have to do make host.
The technical components of Zoom.
You should be good.
Perfect. Thank you.
Very welcome.
Now let's.
I didn't do anything.
Perfect. Let's make sure that I've got this going here. How's that looking? Everybody seeing it?
Yep. Ooh, sneak peek. I love sneak peeks.
Let's now. I want to make sure that I'm in. Yeah, let's go.
Make sure you're in the right spot.
Yeah, let's make sure I'm in the right spot. That's always helpful. And I need to do that one more time because I need to move some stuff out of the way. There we go. So I want to give you an idea of who I am, what I have been all about, and give you an idea of you know, really why you should be listening to me or why I could absolutely help you. I've been an entrepreneur for 35 years. I started off in college. I studied psychology. So I was a psychology major, trained to be a clinical psychologist, and then I went into straight commission sales. Well, in my sales business components, I really wanted to learn the human condition even more deeply and started studying neurolinguistic programming, also studied hypnotherapy and got certified in both of those, and also in direct marketing. And anybody here in multi-level marketing? Do we have a couple of people
now? Yeah.
And so I've been in multi-level marketing since 1987. I'm a leader in several different companies right now and continue to develop in that arena as well. I got involved in real estate, done over $20 million in real estate transactions. So over the years, I went through and I got involved with real estate because, well, I'll talk about that in just a minute, but I got motivated, highly motivated to figure out how to build wealth. And we all know real estate is one of the #1 ways to build wealth in this country. And so I got involved in real estate about 18 years ago. Started investigating real estate, studying it really deeply, studied under all the different gurus out there. I was the guy who bought everything in the back of the room, ran to the back of the room, got the CDs, the tapes, the coaching, the mentoring, and really changed my life. I did over $20 million in my own real estate transactions. To this day, I still trade real estate. I also went on and got my real estate license. I also became a mortgage broker and a mortgage banker over the years. And then along the way, people started asking me to speak about my experiences on what I've been doing in the real estate game, and then also what I've been doing in business in general, and started really getting a magnitude of results from that. And I became an international speaker and trainer starting about 13, 14 years ago. Spoken in 8 different countries, 3 different continents at this point, all across the United States, Canada, Europe, South Africa. I've run over 250 boot camps. I can't even believe that number, and it's growing every day now, or at least it was before COVID. And these are all live events that I ran, and part of it is because I had a speaker support business. And so about 50 of these are my own personal boot camps. And then I ran over 200 of them for other speakers all across the nation, most of them in real estate. So all your favorite gurus, all your favorite people to learn from in the real estate game, most of them I know really well, and a ton of them I've actually run their events, sold their programs, and been highly involved in the planning of what they've done with their agendas, their programs, and even coached many of them. I also went on and became a bestseller. I'm an international best-selling author 11 times now, and we're about to launch 2 new books over the next few months, which will make number 12 and number 13. Yes, I already know that they're going to be a bestseller. There's techniques and strategies with everything. Once you learn the process, you can repeat it over and over again. One of the things I do for my clients is teach them the process so that they can repeat it over and over again and really create a magnitude of results. I've sold over $30 million in informational products, and I've trained tens of thousands of people all across the nation. Weir believes that maybe, just maybe, I could teach you a thing or two about building success.
Yeah.
Me.
This is, yes, and yes. This is my lovely bride, Deborah. Deborah and I have been together for we started dating 34 years ago. And she is my soulmate. She is the reason why I am even here with all of you. She saw more in me than I ever did in and of myself, and helped me create everything I have. I owe her the world. This is the rest. This is the rest of the story. We've got 6 children, 3 sets of twins, and this is really where my major story begins. With 6 children, 3 sets of twins, we had two girls, and now over the next 14 months, as happenstance would have, we created another 4. We went from a family of 4 to a family of 8 in 14 months. It shifted my whole financial makeup completely upside down. And because of that, I really needed to take a deep dive in what builds wealth, how to create, and also a deep dive in looking at myself and really figuring out why I hadn't created abundance yet, and why or how I could really make it happen. And this is really key, is that up until that point, I kept reaching ceilings. And most of you, if you look at your background, you look at your history, you'll know over time, year after year, you'll go to a certain point and then you'll stay there for a long period of time. you'll end up getting stuck in a certain level of success or lack thereof. And that's really where I was. I had created a magnitude of success right out of college, and then I sustained there for a long period of time, years, and over a decade, where I was making somewhere around $80,000 to $100,000 a year. And I found that I couldn't quite get past it, over and over again, looking at different industries, doing different things, and couldn't quite propel myself past that mark. And I got to tell you, that is really good and decent living when you have 2 kids and you can go on a vacation a year and maybe have dinner once in a while and out. Only with a family of 8, $100,000 is poverty level. Truly, I live in the Northeast. I live in Fairfield County, Connecticut. In Fairfield County, Connecticut, I looked into the financial aid. Financial aid, which means the government says you're too poor to feed yourself. Financial aid in Fairfield County, Connecticut is $73,000 a year.
Wow.
That means if I made $73,000 a year or less, the government would consider me poor and would give me food stamps. This is really key. So I was making just above that. I didn't realize how close to poverty I was. I just knew that I was putting more and more on my credit cards, that I was living off borrowed time, if you will, and knew sometime in the next, probably 24, 36, 48 months, I would be declaring bankruptcy. And so this was really my catalyst to understand all that I'm going to deliver to you tonight, and to really get real with who I was and how I could step up my game. And for any of you that are interested in figuring out how to do that for yourself, come find me. Come really spend some time and talk to me, because this makes the difference. I can train you on all the techniques, all the strategies, all the systems in the world. However, if you don't get clear with who you are and how you're showing up, the rest of it is a waste of time. So this is how I looked. Just now the kids are 19, 20, and 24 years old. This is how I looked 19 years ago. Too many bills, too little time, stopped, stuck, overwhelmed. I had to figure it out. And I did. And I became the Maverick Millionaire. And I've been known as I've been known as the Maverick Millionaire for a while. And I've got an offer for you. And I want to start with this and end with this so that you really get clear. I'm here for you. This is an opportunity for you, themaverickoffer.com. This is all you got to do. You go to themaverickoffer.com. You put in your name and email address. You then are directed right to my calendar. And I'm going to give you a free time with me to consult with me about what you're doing and how you can really take a deep dive in moving forward in creating more abundance in your world. This is absolutely free. There is no obligation whatsoever. And once you do that, you're also going to get redirected to Maverick Time. I'm offering you a free 5-day training series on time management and time prioritization. See, here's really key. Unless you are actually utilizing your time effectively, you're never going to get ahead. You're never going to quite be able to create the life of your dreams, because you're always going to be spending time on things that aren't important for you, spending time on things that aren't your dream life, that aren't the things that are really valuable for you. So really, I give this as a gift. Once you understand how to address time and the seconds that are flicking by, the better off you're going to be. And then come spend a little time with me and we can talk about the rest of the story.
It's worth it.
I'm going to talk about the 7 Maverick hacks, the CPB framework. And what is the CPB framework? It's the thing that really will set you on fire. It is the thing that creates the magnitude of results for your life that you may not be aware of, because it's all about consistent, persistent behavior. And what I want to talk to you about is what you need to be paying attention to, what you need to be paying attention to on a consistent, persistent basis. See, so much of what we you may even hear and know of some of the things that I present to you. You may understand that some of these things, oh yeah, that seems really valuable. Yeah, I'll pay attention to it. The consistency with which you do will create the magnitude of results that you get. And so all these things we're going to talk about, not just what they are, but then how to make it a consistent, persistent behavior for yourself. Couple reasons why to listen, other than that I say so, other people say so too. You can go from zero to hero with Paul. This is a given. Doug McGurk. My last RTC, which is our roundtable councils, really set a fire under Leslie's butt, if you will, and moved her. She actually is in the Airbnb, and this is just recent testimonial, and everything that we talked about was different processes to get her up and motivated during this COVID challenge. And even during the COVID challenge, she was able to do 3 bookings almost immediately with the training and really the inspiration on what we gave her during the last time we were together. So really key. Under any conditions, we help you out. Here's something, and I know a lot of you and are real estate investors, or at least part-time. Only I focus on across the board all types of different businesses. And so whether real estate is your primary or your secondary, come find me and talk to me. I utilize real estate as a tool to create wealth. Only I also have multiple streams of income and multiple businesses, and I usually recommend that other people do too. Patricia came to me and she was a financial advisor earning about $50,000 a year. In the first quarter after she worked with me, we created over $100,000 in new business. The second year we created over, or the rest of the year, I should say, we created over $500,000 in new business. And it's all because I talked to her about how to show up in a more powerful way, and then how to create strategic partnerships that she could really create a magnitude of results with very little effort. And isn't that what we all want? That magnitude of results with very little effort.
Yeah, I think that's probably awesome for her, because I don't know how, as a financial advisor, she could like put that out there to people, or if somebody found out that she was only earning the 50K, how she's going to advise them to become financially wealthy. Or
unfortunately, her initial earnings were much more common than her results that she got with my program. So for any of you that think you're getting advised by a multimillionaire when you go to a financial advisor, you might want to investigate a little further, because this is very common.
Yeah.
It's one of my pet peeves in the industry, and one of my pet peeves with how people get advice. One of the and side note, only highly important, where do you get your information from? Where do you get your advice from? And Scott, we've talked about this. You know, you have a personal relationship challenge. Well, what do? You go to your parents, your friends, you go to your best bud that has had 3 divorces. You go, what? Why would you listen to him? And yet that's what we do as humans, is we go to our friends for advice. However, most of the time our friends have no clue what they're talking about.
Yep.
When we're talking about how to build financial wealth, normally we go to the same people. We go to our parents, our best friends. You know, our parents haven't put 2 nickels together, and yet they're the ones which will know $1 million opportunity when they see it. And that's the challenge that we have, is that we're getting advice from people that we shouldn't be listening to. You wouldn't listen to the guy that's sitting around with 300 pounds extra on his belly and eating bonbons, watching TV, sitting on the couch. You wouldn't ask him how to get in shape. But we do that with our financial business.
Why not?
Yeah, what do you mean? And it's so amazing. And yet on the financial, man, find people that have actually made it. Find people that have created the millions. Find people that have created the abundance in real estate. Those are the people to listen to. Because most of the financial advisors, the brokers that you hand them your whole portfolio and you say, here, you manage my money. They can't manage their own apartment. And yet you give them hundreds of thousands of dollars to manage your retirement fund. And then you will scratch your head and wonder why they took all the fees out and you were left with nothing.
Yeah, they make
So it's kind of a pet peeve, and I want you to know, if anything that I say, you go, oh man, it's obvious he doesn't have it, or he doesn't really have the knowledge or the experience, or better yet, he hasn't proven the track record of what he has. Stop listening to me. Move on. However, use the same litmus test for everybody you get advice from, because that's how you build success. I went and found some of the best people in the industry. I went and found multi millionaires and billionaires to feed my knowledge, to feed my abilities. And I spent detailed time with them. That's how I catapulted to my success. It wasn't by happenstance. It wasn't just reading a book. It wasn't listening to guys that have no idea of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm a little bit maverick, and definitely will teach you the counterintuitive ways to create a magnitude of results. Walter came to me. He's a realtor. So there's both investors and realtors, as well as mortgage brokers come to me often. They're a major group of clientele for me. And Walter, we moved them from $300,000 a year to $300,000 in 1 month. Just some major jumps. And these are true blue. These are recent testimonials on what we've been able to create. Now it's your chance. Chris Phillips came to me. He came to me. Now this one's a little bit older testimonial, only so profound because I helped him do a couple things. One, get rid of his job. I don't recommend that for everybody. However, when you talk to me, I will advise you to say whether it's right time for you or not if you have a job that you're still going to. He was a new real estate investor by day, a truck driver by night. He never slept. I got him to quit his job within 30 days. We focused in on his real estate. He did over 3 rehab flips over the next 12 months. I made about $50,000 on each one. So we created a profit of $150,000 right off the bat. In addition to that, I also helped him build up a secondary business that ended up being his primary because we created passive income over 6 months of, well, over the next year, we did well over $100,000, which meant his results in the first year was over $220,000 working with me. And it was because I showed him how to really balance and create his life so that he could focus on all these things. And then we did a deep dive with his new business and really got clear with how to create the business so it would bring in a magnitude of results. That business, when I first got involved with him, was making zero, negative numbers actually per month. And we just turned the whole thing around. So what does it take? First thing you want to control is your mind. And I've talked about this in a few different ways. Realize your mind plays tricks on you. Your mind is telling you to back away. It's telling you that you shouldn't go forward. It's telling you not to do that deal. And it's protecting you. That's what your brain is designed to do, to keep you alive. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of saber-toothed tigers that are coming out of the jungle and eating us. And so the brain has created other things for us to be afraid of. When people tell me, oh man, they're going to lose everything, which is a drama word. They're going to lose everything when they invest in real estate. I talk to them about the fact that, that's not real, that we can mitigate our risk and how to get into the deal effectively so that you're not losing and move past your fears and do it anyway. Because the reality is that success starts internally versus externally. Most people think that, well, when the economy turns around, when COVID disappears, when everything happens to work within my favor, well, then I'll be happy. What we found is, and all the studies show, create happiness first. Put a smile on your face. Decide you're happy. Then you'll create success. Here's with me.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. This
So-
smile changes your whole day.
Mm-hmm.
You wake up.
Smile. Decide it's going to be a great day from the beginning, and it will be. Decide it's going to be a bad day, and it will be. It's your decision. It's your choice. So the second is deciding, not just deciding, now you need to decide what you want. So you approach your life and you're really happy and now you're off and running. Where are you running to? What do you want? All too many people, when I ask this, they say, oh, well, I want financial freedom. I want success. I want happiness. Could we get a little more detailed? And I will ask you to share in the chat. What do you want? What's your primary goal for the rest of 2020 and going into 2021? Do you have specific dollar amounts that you're looking to create? Milestones in your income? Are you looking to create a certain amount of deals? Maybe close on a large deal or have a magnitude of flips? Share with me, what is your primary goal for the rest of this year or into 2021?
Go ahead. Right, 100 doors.
Yep, that was one of them.
100 doors.
In between.
And those are 100 new doors starting today?
Yes.
Yep.
We're,
We're working on it now.
yep. We-
Awesome. Now, I
Really?
talk about words, and I don't know whether I'll be talking about it in this presentation. I talk about the meaning of words. And so try is one that you want to eliminate, and can't is one that you want to eliminate, and working on it is one that you want to eliminate. So Scott,
Uh-oh.
Yes.
explain to me when you say I'm working on it, what are you actually doing?
Well, somebody else was here on the call. We
can't
put together a roundtable to tackle apartment complexes using
A team.
a
We
team of
put a
people
team
with different
together.
skills.
Awesome.
Instead of us doing it by ourselves and everybody in the team doing it by themselves, we all looked at it, we met, and we all decided it makes more sense to have a team to do this where we can move faster and have better traction.
We take notes and have minutes and everything.
Yep, minutes and I record the
Right.
meetings and
Quite impressive. So when are you placing your first offer?
right now we have some opportunities for underwriting to make sure that they fit our criteria because we already put our criteria together.
Good.
Now we're just underwriting, and as soon as the deal comes through and we decide that it's something we're going after, we're going to make an offer. So probably, I wouldn't say this week coming up because we're still putting documents together for ourselves and that, but within the next couple of weeks, I would say we'll probably put an offer out.
We had one for 50 in Connecticut,
Yeah,
but it was the very horrible section of Connecticut. So
What section?
Hartford.
Hartford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the-
Now he says it.
Depends on the section of Hartford. But yeah.
Yeah,
So
it was in the not a very good area.
not at
So
all.
The real key is that you not only created, you create your mastermind and that whole collaboration, which is awesome. And then it's the taking action. And one of the things that in this process, getting past what the chit chat in your head, then making a decision as to what you want, 100 doors, then it's the commitment level, which is where we're going next. And we'll get to that in just a sec. Knowing your target is really key. One of the things that I want you to be as specific as possible when you grab hold and go to write down your target. 100 doors, really specific. If your goal does not have a number in it, chances are it is not specific, because I want it to be trackable. Every goal should be trackable. If you say, oh, I want better relationships with my family, how would you know that you actually met your goals? How would you judge that? Oh, I feel better about it. Or is there a possibility that as you move down the line that your feelings as to what great looks like might change, and so your perception would be off? Maybe it's better than it was, but it's still not where you envision great is, and so you'd say, oh, I didn't move at all. That subjectiveness in your goals can really hurt you. And here's why. Unless you have a target and a goal that you can actually check off, that you can be really specific in and know when you meet it, when you actually accomplish it, when that's not the case, How do you feel? This is really key. You end up with this goal that is vague. Oh, I want abundance. I want a lifestyle. And that's so often, I get into real estate because I want abundance in lifestyle and money. Well, unless you have a specific goal, you end up running on a treadmill forever. You never quite reach a destination. So you're constantly running, feeling as if you're getting nowhere. Because I will tell you, one of the biggest Achilles heels of making money, you spend more money. So as you make it, you spend it. And so sometimes you don't realize that you actually have such an abundance coming in, because you'll have more expenses, you'll be doing more grandiose things. And sometimes you don't feel the shift. You don't feel the difference. And so you'll feel like you're doing all this extra work with no results. And you get really pissed off. And what do you do when you get pissed off? Sometimes you curl up under the covers and just cry. And that's the challenge, is that you end up giving up on your goals way too soon. Being really clear, really specific is key. So many people have lost their way. They've lost sight of their target. And so they end up in this treadmill or just running in circles and never quite ever getting anywhere. Hack number 3, fully commit. And this is what we were talking about a minute ago with Scott and Tab. They fully committed, and placing that offer in the real estate game is the key. You've got to place offers on properties, and you've got to do that on a regular basis. Place offers to be a real estate investor. Commitment. This guy is ultimately committed. He is going to hit the ground no matter what. Soft or hard, he's going to hit the ground. And so absolutely, the commitment is key. What have you done to commit to your success? What have you done to commit to your goals? How absolute are you that they're going to come forward? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being absolutely committed, what's your commitment level to your goal? And for instance, Chris, your first flip or wholesale deal, what's your commitment to getting that done? On a scale of 1 to 10.
You can speak if
In regards to what I've done so far, or what I plan to do?
You had a goal, my first flip or wholesale deal, right? So what is your commitment from 1 to 10? When are you going to get your first flip? Give me a date.
A date.
Ah.
Whew, now we're getting really specific.
Wait a minute.
The Amazing Kreskin says September 15th.
Should I go back? There was that thing about deciding what you want. Then we're in the commitment stage. Yeah. So you decided what you want. Now the commitment, and the commitment is dates. Why do I ask dates? And people say, oh my gosh, I have no idea. And I hear that a lot, especially in the real estate game. Well, how can I possibly know? It's when a deal shows up. And that's kind of where you were going with this, right, Chris?
Yes.
So how could you possibly know, let's just say, what month you're going to create a deal?
I guess by writing more offers that sooner or later one will stick.
Yep.
Writing more offers. So if you increase your percentage of activity, do you think you might have a greater chance of getting a deal?
Correct. Odds are in your favor.
Now, and here's really key. Watch this. So if you've ever watched a race or been involved in any sort of running, as you get closer to the finish line, do people tend to run faster or slower?
Faster.
Faster. So as you get to the closer to the finish line, you can see the finish line. You'd run faster. That's really key in goal setting. You see, when we have a vague time, oh yeah, I'm going to get my first flip sometime, there's never that movement to actually get it done.
Yep.
However, you say to me and you commit, I'm going to have my first flip done in the month of September. Guess how much focus, extra focus you would give to actually making it happen. Does that make sense? And that piece, question, comment on that.
Yeah, it does. It does. I mean, there's also the variables of finding, deals that fit the right numbers and that are affordable to your budget, I guess. But that's just making an excuse.
You just make the offers for what you can.
I will say, and here's really key, is that it's amazing to me, and I've focused in on psychology, philosophy, neurolinguistic programming, self-fulfilling prophecy, hypnotherapy. When you combine all the theories and processes, all the studies on the human condition, and what it actually says, it says this: what you put out there, you get back, period. What you decide is. Whatever you want to create happens. And this is age old. This is millennial old. And so when we decide it's going to happen in September, what happens is all of our energy and all of our focus and all the processes that we know to be true, we then pull into the forefront and we actually make it happen. Because when you know, oh, well, I got to find a deal, you'll make one extra call. You'll make one extra offer. You'll spend a little bit more time with that one seller to find a way to make the deal work. And that extra effort put in every single day between now and the end of September will get you a deal. And how do I know this? I put it into practice, and I do it over and over and over again in my life. You see, the thing is, most people think, and this is probably, and I'm going to actually come off, if I can find my clicker, come into screen just for a moment, because this is really key. Most people think that they decide or that they create life, that they create the existence sometime in the process, oh, it'll all happen. You have control over how life shows up. When you decide it's going to happen, you pull in all your resources, everything that you do, and it actually fulfills in your world. This is key. And so don't wait till everything looks perfect in your life to decide what your life is. Don't wait till you have everything fitting in the right parameters. So many people, and I've been training a ton on this because of COVID. Because of what happened with COVID, a ton of people curled up in there under their blankets and went hiding.
Mm-hmm.
They decided, game over, check on me when this is all over. And some of them are still hiding. And it's a shame because they're letting the world go by. And I'll tell you on a personal level, when COVID hit, I was in Philadelphia. I live in Connecticut. We had gone down to Philadelphia because my wife had been diagnosed with cancer. And within about 5 days, we were basically rushed to the hospital, and the surgeon that knew what was going on was down in Philly. Went to University of Penn, and she ended up with open heart surgery. She had a sarcoma the size of my fist in her pulmonary artery. This was in March of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The same day she got out of surgery, and that next morning, the hospitals were locked down because of COVID. Give you the timing of this. My focus of my business and my speaker business is all live performances, live events. I had 9 months booked out, and all of that got shut down instantly in one night. I felt like I had a double punch to my stomach. My wife was going into open heart surgery. The surgeon was not sure whether she was going to survive. And my business, 80% of my business in the speaker business, my coaching business all went bye-bye. All in one night. And I looked at it, and I will tell you, even me, and I train on this stuff every day, even me, I covered myself under the covers and went, bye-bye. Just check me when it's done.
Yeah.
And I did that for about 2 weeks.
Mhm.
And then I remembered my training. I went back to my basics, my own basics. I went back to what I teach and realized that it's all up to me. Everything I want is my decision. Everything I want, I can create. I took a deep dive, shifted everything. My wife survived surgery. She went through chemo. Now she's great. She went through some intensive, about 4 different segments of 4-day treatments on chemo. And she survived all that, which was almost a miracle, and is now her old dynamite self.
Yep.
And yeah, God bless.
That's great.
And I also pivoted my whole business all around. And I share this because it had everything to do with focused intent and deciding it was going to happen. I have 4 kids in college. I have built an abundance of business that so much of it was affected, almost all of it was affected by COVID. And yet, you know, from day one, what did I tell my kids? Don't worry, you are set in your colleges. We've got all this in abundance. We're able to take care of all this for you. And it's because I've had this mindset for a long time, and I activate it on a consistent, persistent basis. It's what we're talking about here in real time. That's what's happened to me over the last 6 months, 8 months. What's happened to you? And all the excuses that we want to give as to why we can't. I got to tell you, we can. And even today, especially in real estate, we've got things going on every single day and deals happening on a regular basis that can really create a magnitude of results and opportunity keeps showing up.
Mhm.
Next hack is the power of flexibility. Absolutely be on task with everything that you're doing, being flexible in everything that you do. Because when you can pivot like I did in my business, when you're able to shift gears quickly and readily, that's when you have a power of opportunity. Flexibility equals power, more choices, more opportunity. So with Chris, when he's talking about, oh my gosh, how could I find a deal? The magnitude of offers that he would place would increase his opportunities because he'd have more choices as to what comes back. And I will tell you, my first 30 days in real estate, I looked at over 100 properties, and within 30 days had my first deal under contract. I know what I'm talking about because I actually applied these techniques and strategies in my world. What does unstoppable look like and feel like? Because this is the next piece. You've got to be a bulldog. You know, I talked about commitment level and a commitment level from 1 to 10. What's your commitment level to your goals and your dreams? Are they a 10 or are they a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6? You write down your goals, and this is really key. And I want you to, if you haven't written anything down, I want you to do this technique. With every one of your goals that you write down, I want you to put a number next to it of your commitment level. How committed are you to follow through, do whatever it takes and make it happen? How committed are you to be unstoppable till it gets done? That's a 10. If you're anything less, if you find you write down a goal and you say, yeah, I'm about an 8 and my commitment level to get it done, here's what I want you to do. Cross it out. Totally eliminate that goal. Because you really only have 2 choices. Either increase your commitment, and you know, if you increase it and it's not real, it's not going to help you. So you can increase your commitment, only you've got to do it for real, or you can lower your goal. Because if you go to reach for goals that you have no commitment over, or your commitment is less than a 10, chances are you're going to be wasting your time. So how most people end up with a lack challenge in their world. Oh yeah, I've been attempting real estate investing for years now. Yeah, get highly committed. Like I said to Chris, pick a date and time. Watch what happens. When you get that kind of commitment level, things have a habit of working in your favor. It's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep on moving forward. That's how winning is done. That is key. Leveraging a team, and this is really key. This is kind of the rest of the story, is that once you decide you're moving forward, you've created flexibility, you're moving around in creating the leverage or creating the activity in your business, you've got to do it with a team. And congratulations, Scott and Tab, in creating that team for your multifamilies, because leveraging a team is one of the key components for really creating abundance in your world. Know how to leverage, meaning how to attract a team, how to actually have them move in your favor and work towards the vision that you have, how to really attract them to the fact that they will work day and night towards building your vision and maybe be a part of it, attract them to influence them to really see a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do that? One of the major ways is to have a clear vision, to have a vision that you share from the rooftops. What's the vision that you want? What does your future look like? If you had a purpose, you could share a purpose for your life. What would you be sharing? How many people do you share it with? I started sharing my purpose in my life, which is to really share these techniques and strategies on what builds a great life, what builds abundance. I started speaking and training, got dedicated to speak and train all around the country, even when I was scared to death to be a speaker. And this is what I want you to get. I wasn't always this guy. 15, 16 years ago, I was afraid to get up on stage. And now I speak to thousands of people all around the world in teaching them techniques and strategies to really change their world and change their life, both on a financial level and on a personal level. I got educated by some of the best out there, and then started sharing the stage. I jumped the fence, and with all these people, I got to know them and have their cell number on my phone and got to spend a little time. And then many of these people became my clients. I started a speaker support business where I supported speakers all around the country in helping them with their events, restructuring their systems, processes, restructuring their programs to really create a magnitude of results for them. And so I jumped the fence and started to really be by their side, because I knew that was a future and I got dedicated to it. Here's just some of the people that I've shared experiences with and hung out, and many of them are my clients over the years. And some are just great celebrities that I've had the opportunity to hang out with. Richard Dreyfuss, he was right before the COVID hit. We were able to hang out together, and Dean Cain, and some of these people you may recognize. How about this guy? One of the greatest things about building abundance and really stepping past your own fears, blocks, and desires is you get to hang out with some great people who also play in the same arena, or at least have the same kind of mindset, because that's who they want to hang out with. I got to hang out with Richard Branson, Sir Richard Branson. We've been down there a couple times. This is his island in Necker Island. Is the name of the island. It's in the Virgin Isles. Richard Branson is Virgin Records is where he got started. Virgin Airlines, Virgin Galactica, Virgin Mobile, all the Virgin brands are his. Matter of fact, he owns over 400 different companies. We got to hang out on the island a couple times, my wife and I, and spend a little time and really enjoying. And it's really amazing when you get to experience some of the greatest things around. This particular place was named #1 crib in the world by MTV way back when MTV was popular and doing things like that. This is my wife hanging out, spending some time. You know, Richard Branson was spending all his time with us and having dinners and drinks, and here she's doing the conga line. There was a few other millionaires, and Richard Branson is a billionaire. Yeah, I wasn't sure I was getting her back. Yeah. Richard Branson really liked my wife. We had a great time. And one of the things I want to point out is that when you look at this picture, does Richard Branson look stressed? Does he
No.
look stressed? This guy, he runs over 400 companies. Here's the rest of the story. Do you think this is only because now he's a billionaire? Do you think that maybe he was kind of like this before? Most people wait too long. They think, when I get my millions, when I get the influence, when I get the power, then I'll act the part. What I want to point out is he's been like this his whole life. Act like a millionaire. Act the part. Be the ultimate you before the evidence shows up that you are that person. And watch all that stuff come to you in abundance. Play the part and watch it show up. Richard Branson was like this long before he had the millions, before he had the billions. Now he's still stress-free. Now he still knows how to let it go and actually be real. It's an important lesson. And number 7 is execute an action plan. These are really key components when you're talking about structuring your business, and real estate is a business. When you get clear with doing these steps every single day and really getting clear with, all right, what do I want? When do I want it? What am I doing to get it? How committed am I to actually follow through? And then start, actually create the action. Control your mind, decide, commit, be flexible in your process, unstoppable, leverage your team, and create the action steps that really make the movement. See, if everything I said and nothing triggered you to actually go out there and do more tonight or tomorrow, you've wasted your time.
Mhm.
Is really key. And I don't say these things to be mean or to tease. I'm serious.
Mhm.
This is all about application. You've got to apply the components into your world to create a magnitude of results. I did. And one of the things we love to do, my family and I, is travel all around the world. And here we are in Sicily and Ireland, Dominican Republic. Wait, are you guys in that picture? No. The challenge is, and here's the biggest challenge. Here's what I get feedback from. Sure, it's easy for you to say, it's easy for you to do. What about me? And so for all of you that are listening to this and everyone that's here, I got to tell you that I've been able to transfer the information and the process to thousands of others now all across the nation. Paul Brown came and he went through some of my training, the programs, and applied these techniques. And he says, I will absolutely crawl over broken lasts to train with Paul Fink. And I know that's a little extreme. He's a little crazy. And this is why he said this, is because I helped him move. And in his passive real estate, we created an abundance by moving it from $30,000 to over $175,000 a year. I actually have this as a 1-year process that we created. Only in talking to Paul, he assures me that it actually happened in about 9 months. $30,000 to $175,000, and it was going through the techniques and processes that I just talked about. Getting clear with what he wanted, getting committed to where he was what he was actually gonna do, and getting into action with a really clear, we then filled in a step-by-step game plan on his specific strategy of real estate that really made the difference. Only the application was so key, and that had to do with his internal game and committing to what he really wanted. Barbara and Ken Tomeko, now they're probably one of my oldest clients. I've been doing this for a while. I've been training in this capacity 13, 14 years now. Barbara and Ken Tomeko have been training with me consistently for over 10 years now. I I actually just saw them a couple days ago. And they're part of the 7-figure club, which means they've created over $1 million in coaching with me. And here was key, is that they were willing to see a new vision, and we developed a clear purpose inside of them. You see, Barbara and Ken Tomeko came to my doorstep with an idea of what they wanted. They said, yeah, this is what I wanted. And they're really intelligent people, and they knew, they had an idea, this is what we're going towards. So they did have a vision. I helped explode it to a whole nother level. They said that they were going to do 10 rehab flips a year, and they thought that was pretty darn good. For most of you, would you be satisfied with 10 rehab flips, making about $15,000 to $20,000 a piece? Would that be okay? Most people go, yeah, that would be pretty good income. We started talking about what he really wanted. You see, all too many people, they say what they believe they can achieve, but they don't say, and they don't dare to say, what they really want. Start talking to Ken about what he really wanted. And what transpired from that conversation was he wanted to build a legacy. He wanted to actually build a company that could support his family. He had 3 adult children plus significant others that were all in positions that they really weren't happy with. He wanted to create a business that could support them all. He wanted to create an entity that would create a legacy. Who thinks that's a pretty powerful vision?
Yep.
Now he was on fire. You want to know commitment level? Find your purpose in life. So I helped him find his purpose. We created that. We then started moving the needle. Instead of 10 rehab flips, I said, how about 20? No. 10's good for now. Just get me focused on 10. I said, how about 20? We kept going back and forth. We created a magnitude of a plan for 20. In the first year, he did 24 rehab flips. In the second year, guess what we did? We doubled that again. He did over 40 rehab flips in the second year. This continued process, and we ended up diversifying into commercial properties, in the storage units, in the new construction, and really creating a magnitude of a business that all 3 of his adult children now work within, that he's been able to develop from just getting started, just getting into the real estate game, to over a $10 million company right now that's about to jump another $10 million over the next year. Who thinks that's an amazing story?
I do.
I do.
This is really key, is that, yeah, and Scott and Tabitha were there when Ken and Barbara were first coming through the program, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that they were just kind of rolling. You were there when they were at the beginning, and now literally I just met with them. We did a game plan for the next year. Their net wealth and everything that they have now is somewhere in excess of $10 million. And they're about to open up their assisted living facility that they built from scratch.
Yep.
And as soon as that gets opened and filled over the next year, they're going to end up jumping their net wealth up over another 10 million.
Oh, yeah.
Our projections are somewhere around 25 million total. Only I hedge. I'll give you just 20. Yeah. And just a magnitude. And that's what it means when you stay focused on these processes consistently over time, and where it can really land you. Second biggest challenge that people have is I don't have time to make all this happen. I've got so much stuff going on in my life, I don't have time, which is why I offered up Maverick Time Solution, which is a 5-day training series. And here's one of the things, when people say I don't have time, when was the last time you had time? And that's where people get stuck. Because if you look at your past and you recognize that, well, I haven't had real time in a while, man, because every time I finish with one thing, something else comes up, and it always seems to be something.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody here agrees with that. Oh, something always comes up. Something always ends up getting in the way. When do you think that's going to stop?
when life stops.
So the challenge is that people decide, oh, I'll put it off for later when things calm down. I'll put it off for later when, oh, this project or that project are done. The challenge is that, man, the plates never stop spinning. One plate stops spinning and you're given another plate. You have all these things going on continuously. What makes the difference is when you decide. What makes the difference is when you stop, you draw a line in the sand, you decide, now's the time. You place the date as to when you're going to do your rehab flip. You press the, claim the date as to when you're going to create that money in your life. I guarantee you that's the first step.
Mm-hmm.
Come hang out. MaverickOffer.com is where you can make an appointment to talk to me to really get clear with what are you doing in your real estate game? How can you be moving forward? How can you create another existence in that and really create more abundance in your world and your life? Want to open up now to any questions or comments. And I will say one of the things, and maybe we'll come back another time, I talk a lot about negotiations with real estate investors because I started off in sales. I started off cold calling in Midtown Manhattan in high-level consultative selling and in the medical field. And one of the things that was real advantage for me was knowing sales, knowing process, knowing the human psychology and what that looks like in negotiations. And so when I got into real estate, I got really excited that, well, everything can be negotiated. It was like, this is a gold mine. This is a field day. You mean all this, I can get a piece of property for a song and a dance and a chicken? This is exciting. And really realized what that meant. And so you make the appointment for the MaverickOffer.com and you can put that in the chat. Come and make an appointment and I'll give you, I've got a white paper that I did on my top 50 negotiation strategies in real estate and teaching that real estate component. Deals are made, they're not found. One of the biggest challenges that people have in the real estate game is that they look at all the list prices and they think that has anything to do with what you actually will offer or what you'll end up buying the property at. It has nothing to do with it. Go in there and place offers based on what you believe it's worth and then see what happens. Don't get worried about insulting people. Don't get worried about, oh my gosh, it's too low. I couldn't possibly place the offers. And I've negotiated and found deals that are just ridiculous in the real estate game, all because I used that approach and just got really clear that the list price wasn't going to put me off. I was going to offer the price of the property that I thought it was worth every step of the way. And then I've really learned how to negotiate and create deals to the tunes of thousands, tens of thousands, and even hundreds of thousands of dollars just because of knowing specific techniques in negotiations. So any questions on any of that? What's going on?
Well,
Well,
there's no questions.
Feel free to speak up. Paul, don't bite.
Yeah.
Well, I do, but not in this arena.
That's what I said. Well, you
Not
can do
right
a personal
now.
bite.
Kimberly said, I want to save my house. That's interesting.
Yeah. And I saw that and I wanted to say that towards the end. I will say that I have a ton of clients that I'm helping out now in different stories of such and most of them have to do with the whole process of what's happened with the COVID virus. And one of the biggest challenges is that God bless all the mortgage companies. And what did they do? They gave us the opportunity to defer our payment. And so then they deferred our payments. Oh, yeah. Don't worry about it. You don't have to pay. You don't have to pay. You don't have to pay. Well, now it's 3, and usually they're given 3 months for most, and then they'll even extend it another 3 months. Well, we're right in the midst of that. And so, because at the tail end, they're like, all right, now you got to pay it all. Like, what? If I could pay it all, well, I would have paid you back then. I didn't make money today as I did 3 months ago. What are you doing to me? And they're and it's really a tough challenge right now. On the investor side, realize there's going to be a ton of foreclosures happening over the next 6 months, 6 to 9 months. You're going to see a ton because all these things are going to come to a head.
Yep.
And it's going to happen. And so you're going to see a ton because everyone's like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. And with the figuring, and everyone was figuring on, we'd be open by June. And because we figured on June, so they would defer March, April, May. Oh yeah, we'll be open by June. I'll be good. And that's where everyone's gotten stuck.
Yep.
So, and you know, Kimberly, what I would suggest, and I don't know whether you want to talk about it here or whether you would like to talk about it privately, but I might have some other components. Why is it being taken away?
Well, it's not being taken away just yet, but it's a long story of medical issues. I haven't paid my mortgage in 10 months because I started having seizures and I haven't been able to work, and my boyfriend left, and he left me with not being able to work at the moment and took the money from the last flip house because it was in his name. So he took the money, and so now I'm going to owe October 1st about $26,000, and I haven't been working. So I don't know what I'm going to do, and I don't want to lose my house.
Where's income been coming from?
Right now, disability.
Is that how you've been living?
Yeah,
Savings,
none.
401ks, anything?
No.
Uh,
No, and I've been wanting to do, wholesale deals because I don't have any of my own money, but I've been like in and out of the hospital, so it's been hard to get anything started or continue with anything because, I know at some point I'm going back to the hospital or whatever it is, and I'm coming on and off medication that makes you crazy or in bed and just not being able to walk, and so it's been. I kind of want to, I guess, do wholesale deals, and I want to be able to save my house because I don't want this to be this bad time in my life. I don't want to lose everything, I want to save what I can.
Well, a couple things on that, and
Yeah.
recognize that if you do lose your house, if you do end up having to move, you won't have lost everything. And I want you to recognize that, and recognize that you are the key, that your health, your brain, what you have inside of you, and the personal power that you have going on is you, and what is the most valuable. Everything else is replaceable.
Thank you. The only problem I have with moving is
Agreed.
what?
The puppy agrees.
Yeah. No, he doesn't, because the biggest problem, and I'm sure some people know this, I have 6 animals at the moment. I have 2 dogs and 4 cats, and I cannot find a place that will take all of them, and I am not leaving one of them behind. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe a trailer, but then if I do a trailer, number one, I'm used to a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, and I have all my stuff. That's fine, whatever. But no trailer park is going to take that many animals. So then I have to find one where I have like a lot that I own, maybe. I don't know if people have come across that, where there's a trailer on a lot and I can own the property so that I can do what I want on it. And yeah, so I don't know where that is. And that's my issue, is I have my babies. These are my kids. So I need to save my house for them more than, me, I guess.
You're like, yeah, you care more about the pets.
Yeah.
So a couple of things is that we've got to get busy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You've got to get busy, and this is really key. One of the biggest challenges when we get trauma in our life, when we have drama going on around us, is that we tend to get focused in on just stressing over the drama rather than stressing
Yeah.
over the solution. There
Right.
is a solution. Now, you've got to create some income. What is some of the things that you could create income around?
Well, I have my own cleaning business, but because of COVID, I lost 95% of my customers.
Why? Because they didn't
Because
want
they
anyone.
didn't, right, they don't want anybody in the house.
Mhm.
Many of them are older. Many of them just had kids or whatever the reason, they don't want outsiders in their house.
Right.
So I only have 2 customers at the moment. So that's only, and I have a worker who does it for me because I can't do it right now. So that's only making me, 1 week I make $100, another week I make 60. So that's not going to help me right now.
Okay.
Then I have,
To
I
start.
don't know if you guys know the name Carol Stinson. She is affiliated with Dean Graziosi. She's in New Jersey, and I actually just talked to her on Thursday, and she teaches wholesaling, and I've been wanting to do that for a long time. I have my real estate license, but I put it back up with the state because I wasn't doing anything with it except paying, the real estate company money every month and not being able to work. So I got,
So
and
Kim,
then, yeah, go ahead.
so with your business, when was the last time you talked to all your clients?
About a week ago.
Awesome. So they stopped doing business with you months ago and you still talk to them on a regular basis?
Yes, I do. Yes.
And is there anything else that you might be able to do for them? Not that remaining, the 90 that left you.
I don't know. I'm not sure. What, do you have an idea?
Well, I mean,
I
for
do.
anybody that's been in, you have an idea?
Yeah, I actually, as soon as you say your cleaning business, on our site on CNJ REIG, there's
Yeah.
a lot of us investors that need people to come in and post clean, and
Yeah.
then, so post it.
Yeah, nobody's
Go
living there.
for it.
They're houses that just got renovated, but you
Yeah,
gotta prep them
they're-
and clean them
they're
for
vacant.
sale.
Okay.
Trust me, I have one that'll be coming up. There is so much from the sanding
dirt,
and
yeah.
dust
Yep.
and floors that are going to be done. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That
don't
would be
have time
great.
to go clean. Paul will yell at me if I do that.
Highest and best use of your time. So one of the great things, and what Tabitha is pointing out, Kim, is that you want to do 2 things right off the bat. You want to kind of go through your client list
Yeah.
and call them up and talk to them about what else you might be able to do for them. For
Okay.
instance, is there days when they're not in the house that you could go in and
Right.
the worker, and I would have your worker tested once a week. Hey, he's tested. He's going to go in and he's going to clean for you while you're not there.
Okay.
And that's one possibility. Or there's also outside of buildings and being able to clean up any of the trash or any of the things or take trash out or that they might have in their garage and that sort of thing. So places that they're not active in, you can actually be active in helping them take care of some of that cleaning.
Okay.
And then 3 is really look at, and just what Tabitha was saying, open your eyes and do what I call a brain dump and a creative dump as to what other industries could you serve? Who else in the universe uses cleaning services? And start making a list and then activating where could you step into that, like with advertising with investors.
Right.
And it's that creative, and it all starts with, and what I was talking about, this is kind of where it gets placed, is your commitment level to make the change. What's your commitment level to make that thousands of dollars that you need to make? It's not an impossible number. What it means is get focused that you absolutely are going to figure it out. I'm a firm believer there's a solution to every challenge.
And I want to ask you also, my mortgage is Wells Fargo, and I said, can I talk about a loan modification in October? And she said, sure. And then when I talked to someone else, they're like, they probably don't even own your mortgage anymore, so they're not going to be able to modify it. and they're just lying to you. So what do I do about negotiating some
Oh, wait.
kind of
Wait a minute.
modification?
So you got this advice from someone that was a financial advisor or mortgage broker?
A real estate investor.
Yeah.
Most of it.
Yeah. They don't know what, so they don't have any clue about your loan or what's going on
Right.
with it.
No,
Yeah.
they don't.
It's irrelevant.
Right.
You may as well have gotten, Mickey Mouse to talk to.
Where do you send?
I did ask
send your
him. I
payment?
did. I'm sorry, what was that?
Who's the servicer? Where do you send your payment?
Wells Fargo.
They
Okay,
still
then they own it.
They own it.
Okay.
They did not sell that. They have that.
Yeah. Unless they sold it in the last 30 days, which I doubt,
Yeah.
that's the person that still owns your mortgage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So be careful about a lot of extraneous. Go right to the source.
Oh, absolutely.
Just be a bulldog about getting things done. And
I
when-
am very much that person.
I hear you.
I really am.
So when you get a no, keep going. Ask for their supervisor. Ask for their manager. Don't stop.
Oh, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. The only thing that's been holding me back for the past year and a half of like going forward with a lot of things is being in and out of the hospital so many times and this bad medicine that I've been getting. I'm feeling a little better, but I'm still now coming off of medicine that I said, I don't need this medicine, but I'm coming off of it. And then there's a withdrawal process and it's very like, it's hard to function as a human with this medicine. So I'm trying to come off of it as, quick and painless as possible, but that's the only thing that's been holding me back. So I'm trying to, recreate my life again while still being sick.
Be dogged and dedicated and realize that your mind is more powerful than you give it credit for.
Yeah.
You get great thoughts, program it, telling yourself you are healthy, wealthy, and wise,
Right.
and wake up with a smile on your face and really move one foot in front of the other and just keep going. Regardless of how much you want to just sit back and relax, don't focus in on putting one foot in front of the other. You are worth it.
Yeah. Relaxing is rough. It's like in the mornings, I literally have tremors and I'm shaking and it's just,
I hear you.
but anyway, enough of my sob story. There's more to it, but I'm sick of telling the story. I just want to tell the good parts and look for solutions and just
That's it.
Time to create a
go
new story.
forward. Yeah, absolutely.
A
I
better
got-
story.
I was raising my hand. I realized the other one. The other one was
Yes.
Airbnb. I
Yeah.
pictured Leslie.
Nobody
Do you
wants to go clean
know-
'em.
And they're vacant. That's when the people leave. You come in, you bleach it down, and go
Yeah.
home.
And they're having problems finding cleaning people.
Go on the Airbnb site, girl.
Okay.
Advertise.
Okay.
Oh,
Thank you.
Or you've got a couple free bedrooms.
Yep, right about.
that too, right, Connie? But make sure you have the contracts written good.
Yeah.
Wait, what? What did I miss?
Oh,
Connie's doing that. She's renting out a room.
Yes,
Oh.
it's taking me a while to figure out how to unmute myself. Yes, I don't have like a regular Zoom meeting, but yes, I got you, Tabitha. Better contracts for the next one.
Yep.
Learned a lot.
That's funny because I actually am renting a room right now, trying to get income, save my house, and I would like to rent out my basement.
Not working, not
Um,
trying. You're
yeah.
doing it.
You're doing it. Yep.
You're doing it different. Read the shirt.
Yeah, I am. I'm doing everything, that's within my power. I really, but I want more power.
Be careful with the basement. Make sure there's egress.
Yes.
There is.
You
Both,
have
there's
to have, you have to have.
there's
the
two
right-
ways.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
other questions, comments?
One of the things I wanted to say, I didn't get to say it at the beginning, was this is a change of mindset for people.
Yes.
People that need a change of thought pattern, mindset, where they're at. So that's why we also wanted Paul on here, because he's the expert at this. He's going to
Mhm.
tell you what you need sometimes you'll hear what you want, but a lot of times you're going to get what you need, not what you want. So you got to have open mind and open ears.
There's somebody still trying to connect, like
Yeah.
forever.
Oh,
That was one of my thoughts out there that I wanted to throw out there to people, to just have them understand who have, like Connie's never been to one of our meetings like this.
Yeah.
And this is about changing your mindset and your thought process. And I know Paul delivers on that. That's why we want him.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I work with a ton of real estate investors is because I'm also a real estate investor, and I've been in this arena for 18 years, and also have my real estate license, which I let go of after a couple of years, and also was a mortgage broker, and really know all sides of the real estate game. So I'm able to advise. I've done almost everything there is: short sale, wholesale, lease options, subject to, commercial, residential. I've done the works. And so when we're talking about how do you really build a magnitude of a sustainable business around real estate, there's some techniques and strategies on a business level that most of the time when you're dealing with real estate, they don't talk about. They talk about the contract, they talk about offers, they talk about what to do with the legal components, only to really understand how to build a sustainable business around it is really key. And that's where I come in, is really helping move the needle so that internally and externally you're able to do what you do. And then of course, negotiations doesn't help either. Doesn't hurt either.
Right. And just to mention that it's not just real estate. Paul's great at every type of business. We've seen some of the other students in different industries and how they've gone from what you've seen on the screen, similar, you know.
I've been across the board, because I've been in multiple different industries and multiple different components. So everything from distribution to coaching to being an author and trainer and speaker, and how do you, as well as real estate. And so how do you build up different types of businesses? There's certain systems and processes that are universal across the board that move the needle for everybody. Yeah, were you on, I have an event that's my one day, and I've started doing this when COVID hit. Instead of doing my live events, I've got full day presentations and events that we do, and we have interactive talk, and a whole lot of great stuff happens. And one of my clients came on, they had just started with me. So this was just a couple weeks ago. They had been with us for about 6 weeks. And she talked about, and she's a coach, and she coaches mortgage people. And so she teaches mortgage brokers how to build up their business. And I've been coaching her for the last 6 weeks. And within the first about 30 days process, we moved her process, really analyzing how she was pricing, how she was valuing what she did, and how she was presenting, and restructured it. And within 30 days, she made over $28,000 because of the shifts that we did in her business.
wow.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it was really cool because she came on and she wasn't supposed to be on, and she just came on and wanted to tell that testimonial because she was so moved by how much had happened in such a short period of time. It doesn't matter where you are, there's ability to move that process.
Mm.
And you've got to be willing to do a little bit of work, a little bit of effort, and then get really clear on bringing in the advice and the support from the right people to make it happen. And that's what I'm here for. And I've been doing this for a long time, 13 years as a coach at this level, all across the United States, Canada, Europe, and having a blast doing it. So whatever I can do for anybody here, come find me, come talk to me. Absolutely, you're all offered up, maverickoffer.com. Spend a little time, and we usually spend about half hour to an hour on the phone together and really talking about what's good for you and how I can help you. I just may offer you up some opportunities to coach with me, and it's just a piece of the process.
Mm-hmm. And it
Thank you.
works. It
Yeah.
really does work.
Yeah, I can see that it would. Absolutely.
It does.
No, it does.
The Anthony, who was on here earlier, the other A&A debris removal, one of the
Yeah.
youngest Mavericks. He
Yeah.
took on Paul as the coach.
Yep.
And Paul actually
The summit
the
was
boy
great.
did not want to get up but Paul went in there and jumped on the bed and woke him up. So
Oh,
he is
yeah.
serious to make you move.
Yes.
Do you do home visits? Or is that just for Scott and Tabitha?
Well,
He'll do it for everyone.
do I do house calls? Is that the question?
Yeah. Yes.
We create, and before COVID, we were doing a lot of retreat type events where we were together. So for Ashley and Scott and Anthony, we had, and Tab too, we had a retreat that we lived together for 5 days. And so the first morning, Anthony thought I was kidding about the time that we were supposed to meet. I didn't take no for an answer. He came and attended.
Yep. By what was it, the third or fourth
Third
day, he
day.
was actually out
He was
there.
the first one there then. Oh, he was all in. Just
Yeah.
sometimes people are resistant to what's best for them.
Yeah.
And yet, I'm not here to force it on you. All you got to do is raise your hand and say, that's what I want.
Yep.
Real questions.
Anywhere there?
No, not over here.
No?
Good.
Everybody needs to go out to maverickoffer.com
Any-
and connect with Paul.
What was that, Connie? Go ahead.
The price information is going to be on the site, right?
Well, when you speak with Paul
Yeah, take-
and then
Oh, okay.
Talk with
Right.
them.
Got it.
Price
have a
information for what,
consultation.
Connie?
Oh, for like coaching, for
I actually, and I've been coaching, like I said, for a while, and I've got multiple different programs. And so to offer one up without knowing a little bit more about what you're doing might do you a disservice. And so when we get on the phone, I'll actually talk to you about what you're doing, what's going on with your business, give you some great advice onto what the next steps are for you, and also share with you, once I know a little bit more, what system or process and which one of our programs might be best for you. And we've got programs at multiple different levels. Every single one of my programs, though, does have me in it, as far as having access to me and really be able to work with me. My focus has always been coaching. I started off as a counselor. That's how I was trained to be a clinical psychologist. This is my passion. Coaching and training people is my passion now. I delegate everything else in my business, and I'll teach you to do the same thing. Whatever you want in your business, you can focus all your energy around that. And so I spend most of my days focused in on coaching and training. I delegate everything else in my business, all the mechanics of my business, all the marketing of my business. I delegate all that so I can really stay focused in on what I love to do. And it's how you keep developing a really strong business that keeps growing, because when you're doing what you love, will you do more of it?
Mm-hmm.
yes.
And that's really key. And then it's not a big deal to work. It's not a big deal to do what you do. And that's the way I designed my whole life. So.
And you get him not a cubicle coach.
Right.
That's the good part. No cubicle coach.
Everything that I do in my coaching is customized. So every one of my clients get a customized approach to their business and their life. So that you get real coaching and we really move the needle. It's why people last forever with me. They don't leave. We have people from, again, Barbara and Ken are probably my oldest now at 11 years. When I first started, or 10 years, when I first started, I didn't have ability for them to stay. Now we just have systems where they can stay forever, and it makes it easy.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. And I think Paul just said part of the key to working with him as well, which when you go and like when we first met Paul, we didn't know what a coach was. So we were like, oh man, this guy's like brainwashing us,
Yeah.
So we
No,
had to take a step
serious.
seriously. We didn't know what a coach was. We didn't come from that world, this world, so we were like, what is this about? Like, what is he talking about? I don't get this. I'm not sure. He remembers that. But that's what we did was we took a step back and said, okay, wait a minute. This is new. We need help. We went around for a couple of years, talked to different people, and he's like the entire package. If he said it before a few minutes ago, if it's personal and business. If your personal life isn't working, your business will never work right.
Yep.
If you're stuck with something in your personal life, you can talk to Paul about it and he will help you. It's not just about let me set up your business and make you millions of dollars. It's the whole thing.
Oh,
And you get
yeah.
his whole family, not
Yeah.
just him. You get his whole
Deb
family.
came down and she was like,
Yeah, Deb wanted to smack me around a bit. I was like, uh-oh.
oh yeah.
So
There's-
it's the whole package, the real deal with Paul. It's everything. It's not just, hey, I'm going to make you millions of dollars. Okay.
If it wasn't for him, our family wouldn't be where we are today. Honest to God, he put us together again, as you could say it. Like honestly. So
all four of them have been students through our programs, and
Yep.
one of the things we helped to launch the demolition business
yeah,
Oh,
for
okay.
Ashley and Anthony,
Yeah.
and really with everything that they've been doing, we started, like you said, 8 years ago. Oh my gosh.
yeah. So,
It's-
Ashley,
No,
There you
wait. And to correct that story, 8 years ago, they
Met
came
you.
Met
through
you.
the initial introduction,
Yep.
and they went bye-bye.
Mhm.
Don't do that.
we thought we
Don't
were
do
like,
that.
we did.
Yeah.
Honest to God, we thought he was brainwashed.
We thought he was like a cult.
We're like, what kind of a scam artist is this?
Yeah. We
So
really did.
they loved everything, and here's really great. So they come back, they meet me 4 years later. They have no contact. 4 years later, they come back into the mix. They see me for the first time at a networking meeting where I was speaking. They come back to my event, and then they hear the testimonial about Barbara and Ken, who had been
Oh.
progressing along in their life and creating millions already at that point. And Scott and Tabitha were at the same event where Barbara and Ken met me, and they went like this, and Scott and Tabitha were not moving back then.
Yep.
Nope.
And not progressing, and real big difference. And when they saw that, they went, all right, maybe we won't waste another 4 years. Let's get busy.
Wow.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I'll be calling you, I guess.
Well,
That'd be a good idea. All you gotta do is go to the link. You'll go
Yeah.
right into my
On the-
scheduler and pick a time.
Okay.
Yep.
Ashley, your business went up to what, 75,000?
Yeah, we're between like 75 and 80,000 since we signed up.
Holy moly. Good.
Yeah.
Good one, girl.
Kind of thing. Yeah. So now you know what to do, Ashley, right?
Oh, I keep doing everything that you taught me every day.
Oh, he yells at us.
You need to come back. We haven't seen you in a while. You need to come
Yeah,
back because
I
there's
need
so
to-
much more.
Pressure.
Let's triple that number in the next 12 months.
Ow.
I need it.
And
Yeah.
you know I'm serious.
I know.
Oh, we can do that.
And I don't know if Paul knows, but
Yeah, Scott and Tabitha, I can't help. Ashley, you and Anthony, you come. All right. We can do something for you guys. All right.
I don't know if Paul knows this, but over the past probably 3 or 4 months, we had Barbara and Ken. It was actually Barbara wasn't on, but Ken and his 2 sons were on
Yeah.
talking about how they scaled their business, how they adapted their business from flipping into the other realms of the real estate world and what they're into now. We had our accountability coach, Keith Mills, on, who runs his business
Mhm.
remotely all the time because he's always with Paul
Yeah.
in different places around the world.
Let's be clear, because I showed him that he could do that.
Yes, exactly. But that's why we had them on, to show people that you don't have to sit in a box in an office, in your office. You can do things depending, the world is out there, and you just
Yeah.
have to, go out and take.
So there's
Risk.
so much room to be able to do everything that you want. I decided probably 15, 20 years ago, never to have a brick and mortar building as my establishment. I work out of my home because my kids were growing up and I wanted to be by their side. And so I've always had my office in my home, and I'll never change that. I don't see any purpose to it. You can work virtually. That's why one of the interesting things with the COVID challenge, that I call it, is that I didn't have a lot of shift or change in my world other than I wasn't traveling. But as far as the way I operate my business, my whole team is virtual. It's how I've operated for decades now. And so being able to continue in that process, everyone was like, yeah, we're home like we were last week. We're okay. And so understanding how to do that, understanding how to do real estate, for instance, anywhere in the country, that it doesn't have to be in your backyard, understanding how to do things arm's length, because that gives you freedom. That gives you the ability to have a real life. That gives you the ability to be able to breathe and live, rather than being, have whatever company you build to just create a job for yourself. That's not living. Wasn't ever my vision. So how do you create that?
Right.
Yeah, like my friend Monica, my Million Mile Blondie. I'm doing yoga here, and she's sitting on the beach because that's the lifestyle he taught her.
Yeah.
She's like going Panama City. She was down in I forget where, and now she's going to be in Oregon, and she's out in California, and they're going down to. She's like all over the place.
So you had Monica on, right?
Well, no, she's actually. I think she's flying right now.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Monica is one of my students as well. And Monica came through. She was a flight attendant, making like $20,000 a year as a flight attendant, kind of in and out, part-time. And she just a little bit scattered. This is how she showed up, and her own testimonial. I'm not saying like things out of school here.
Nope.
We got her really grounded and focused. And it took a couple months for her to get clear with her vision and her purpose on what she wanted to create. And then once she did, our Maverick community is really tight. And so our Maverick community helped fund her new business. So that was really key. So in a weekend, we helped create her vision. She then got a funder from somebody else that was in the room, that was one of our Mavericks, and launched her Airbnb business. And she developed it to go from zero and making about $20,000 a year in a job to creating over $130,000 to $150,000 a year in Airbnb profits.
Yep.
And
$1,000 a month. Yep.
all within 12 months, and just huge transition for her and her whole life. And it was so amazing. One of the testimonials are just in talking to Monica, and we were talking one day, and she's like, when I realize it the most is when I'm out with the people I used to work with, and they're struggling to figure out which is the cheapest thing on the menu for lunch, because they don't want to order too much because they can't afford to, and they don't have it in their wallet. And Monica doesn't look at pricing anymore on any restaurant that she goes to. And it's such just little things like that. You want to change your life. You want to understand how to grow into a magnitude of what's possible for you. I'm a firm believer in everybody can create so much more than they ever thought. I know I did. I never imagined I'd have the business I have now. 20 years ago, 15 years ago, I didn't know I had this in me.
Deborah knew.
Yeah. Thank God for my wife. She saw more in me than I ever did of myself. Yes. You always have to have that person who believes in you, right?
Well, they always say behind every successful man is a strong woman, right?
Absolutely. There you go.
Hey, Mir, do you have anything? Because you came on late. Do you have any questions, or is that how you pronounce your name, Mir? You're muted.
Unmute it.
Bottom left.
I know it's tough. It's tough when you don't.
He's still muted.
He's
You can put
trying. He's looking.
Right signs. Hold it up to the screen.
Yeah.
You can always chat if you want, if you can't get it to work.
Bottom left.
I'm on the top. My mute button's on
This
the
is
top.
on the top. Oh, there you
There he
go.
is. There he is. You there?
Yeah,
Okay,
Hi.
there you are. How you doing?
good.
We saw you joined late, so we
Yeah,
just,
I came from my job right now, actually. I came from job and then I'm in.
So I'll summarize for you. MaverickOffer.com. You can go there and get
MFPRICK?
It's in the chat.
MaverickOffer.com. It's in the chat.
I put it
Okay,
in,
I got you.
Yes, CK. You can go get a free consult with me. We spend a little time. You're also going to get a 5-day training program on time management and time prioritization. So 5 different trainings that we offer up to you. All this is free. And so go ahead, click on that link. It'll guide you right through and be able to spend a little time.
Got you.
Easy. Easy.
Do you have any questions?
Not right now, actually.
Other than how to get out of your JOB? You really like your JOB, just asking.
I like it. I like it.
How long do you want to be there?
Not too long.
Then
Not
you
now
don't
when I
have
got the, not too long. It's
You
good.
know, you might want to figure out this whole thing about commitment just a little bit. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, for at least another day. Yeah.
That
so,
is true.
so you're leaving your job soon.
That is the plan. That's why I'm here.
Beautiful. When do you want to leave your job?
My target is within 6 to 1 year, 6 months to 1 year.
Awesome. How long have you been in real estate investing?
Truly speaking, from February.
Okay. And what have you studied? What techniques?
So right now I am on wholesaling.
Okay.
Good.
I'm doing wholesaling and that is going on.
Do you have a deal under contract?
Not yet.
Okay.
I would have bought it.
How many appointments do you have set up for the next week?
Nice question. Not yet.
Okay.
Okay.
But I'm offering. There is a thing. What I'm getting the offer from the Zillow, and I'm offering them 75%. But when I offer to the listing agents, they are telling that your offer is too low. This is what I was wondering. But my calculation is telling, seeing the properties in the Zillow and Redfin realtors, after repair value, I cannot offer more than that. If I offer, it will be a devastating project for
Right.
me.
Yeah, you won't make
So there's
Yeah.
something going on. Maybe I'm missing. Maybe they are asking too much pricing.
Oh, they are.
So just a couple things. One is, how many of these properties have you offered up that pricing for? How
I'm
many
sorry,
offers have you made?
If I'm not wrong, not more. Minimum 20, 25. I have already done it. I have already offered.
And the realtors all said?
There's they are telling that it is in short sale. Some are in short sale, and some of them are telling that no, you are offering too much low.
Okay. So
We have full offer.
Oh, okay. So they had multiple offers already.
great. Keep doing it. One of the things that I know is stats. Are you familiar with statistics?
I'm good at statistics, but what statistics you are asking me?
So statistics, if you are looking to get significance from a number and your base trial numbers haven't reached 100 yet, can you really come up with a good percentage?
No.
So how many offers have you placed?
20, 25.
Yeah, it's not 100 yet.
Got you. 75. Okay, I'm on the way. I'm on the way.
So, and it really is, statistics, every business, when you boil it down, there's definitely a numbers component. I was in straight commission sales is how I got started, cut my teeth, cold calling in Midtown Manhattan in the medical field. When I graduated from college, this is how I got started. And I really learned numbers matter. And so you want to hit a statistical significance in what you're doing. You've got to reach over 100. Otherwise, you haven't quite gotten in there yet. You're working at, half a deal. Great. So right now, most of the time, and when I first got in real estate, and it depends on the technique and your training, only for the most part, you can count on, you place 100 offers.
Mhm.
you'll get 10 that you can actually do something with. And one of those 10 will actually come through.
Mhm. Yep.
That's how it's done. So
Got
when
you.
you look at those pure numbers, I looked at those numbers and went, all right, deep dive, massive action. When I first got started in real estate, I went and basically looked at and analyzed 100 properties within 30 days. 100 properties within 30 days, started placing offers, getting into negotiations, and I ended up closing on one.
Yep.
Within my first 30 days in real estate, I got my first property under contract. But it was all about the numbers. I didn't know what the frig I was doing. I just got busy. I mean, I had no idea. I mean, I listened to Carlton Sheets videotapes or audio tapes. That's all I knew. That was it. Right? I got Carlton Sheets audio tapes. I listened to that and I just got busy. And I was massive action, knocking and going on and looking at everything. I was in outside sales, so I looked at every. Back then we didn't have the internet, so it wasn't easy for me. There you go. It wasn't easy for me. You know, like now, you guys have it easy. Everything's online. It's easy. You can look everything up. No, I actually had to like go to town hall and look up properties. I actually had to go find properties that were for sale out in the universe. So I still looked at 100 properties in the first 30 days. That's like the secret to my success.
So last week, what happened? I went to see one property after calling the broker. After seeing the property, it is in 11436 New York, Jamaica.
Yes.
That house is old 100 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of house in New York.
It is broken. Means the staircase. I'm starting from the staircase. It is broken. I went in. When I went in, the floor plan, it is 100 years old.
Yep.
Right? So she's offering on the Zillow at 450,000. After seeing the property, there is only one family. Actually nobody can. It is impossible to give a rent because it is not possible for middle class, those who are getting the minimum salary people. If there is any in New York, maybe $22 their highest $22 their income. So if anybody wants to purchase that house, it is impossible because he has to pay more than $3,500 in mortgage for that property.
Right.
So after seeing the property, it is an attic type. Like, you got my point. Did you get the roof of the roofing plan? Did you see my hand? Like
Yeah.
V shape.
Yeah.
So I saw he on the first floor he has a dining. What is that called?
Dining room.
The dining room and
Living room?
living room, dining room, and kitchen on the
Okay.
first floor.
Right.
In the like attic, like
Attic.
in this V shape, one part one bedroom, another part another bedroom, and then the basement. And the basement there, he rented. The homeowner, he rented.
Oh, there you go.
So I saw that basement. When I go there, the staircase to go down basement, that is that one they made another bedroom for the basement party to rent. After seeing the property, I said, yeah, I like your property. She offered 450. I said, yeah, I will give you 140,000.
Yeah.
I would too.
I will give you 140,000 and cash.
It's Jamaica.
And cash. Then she, are you insulting me? I said, tell me the thing. What you think I insulted you? She is asking me, why are you insulting me, telling me 140,000? I was asked, what is that? I told you that you feel insulted here. See your property, first of all. Number one, it is 860 square feet.
No,
Yeah.
So
It is 860 square feet, number one. Number two, it is 1,800 square feet lot. Number three, it is 100 years old property.
Right.
Number four,
you might
we
want You might want to tone down your approach a little bit when they are already feeling insulted. Going down and kicking them when they're down may not work. but it absolutely, and you're going to get this, and especially in wholesaling. And it's one of the things that if you've ever studied like manipulation techniques, that's what they're doing. And the homeowner and the realtors are all in on this manipulation technique. Because if you come forward with a price, oh man, that's insulting. That's just manipulating you with guilt and embarrassment so that you change. I want to ask you, like, when did price negotiations become a personal issue? There's nothing
That is true.
personal. They're manipulating you and looking to do that. And the realtor is the first level that do that. And it's horrible when they do it. Do you know by law, you place an offer, it could be $1. They're supposed to write up the paperwork and submit it to the owner. Because by law, they have a fiduciary right, obligation to just be the conduit for everybody in the marketplace and communicating with the homeowner. That's their whole job. They are not allowed to discern whether this is worthy or not. They're supposed to communicate the information right to the homeowner. Mm-hmm. So when you place an offer that is too low, they are by law supposed to write it up regardless, because they're not allowed to say no. Now, if they say they've got two other offers, it's not worth your time to start fighting them on it. However, I want you to know that sometimes they are just smoke screening. Sometimes they are just playing a game and they're just looking to manipulate you to raise your price. And that is not right. And when you find that, I've actually gone right to the broker and had the broker write it up because one of their people wouldn't. I said, this is a legitimate offer. I think you need to write this up, because I want to be in negotiations with the owner, and this is where it begins.
Got you.
So
Thank
just
you.
recognize that where your positioning is with that. And the rest is, so don't let them to manipulate you. You go forward. You're absolutely right. If it's not worth it, you've done the comps, you've done the analysis, and the property's not worth it, offer what the property's worth and just let the chips fall where they will.
If I got the property, I will demolish it, completely demolish it, and I will establish for next 100 years how people will like the property.
Yes. Well,
Even it is 1,800 square feet. Though there is no chance. So she is telling that I have a 355,000 offer. I said, oh my goodness, the person will be mad.
Here's the rest of the story is that I've gotten properties that like I couldn't bring my wife to because she would be like, are you kidding? We're buying this. Why would you ever?
Right.
Right? Like understand that you buy it. It's not for you to live in.
It has to be demolished.
It's an investment.
It's an investment, yes.
And if the neighborhood rents out apartments like that,
it was a good neighborhood.
Will also rent.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It was a good neighborhood.
And right, so it wasn't fitting. But I've had low income housing where people, my wife would be horrified to walk into those apartments. However, it was common with what the whole neighborhood was like. And then I would get it and over time fix it up. So then the rents would enable me to be able to spend the money on it, and it still became a cash cow. So it's recognize that sometimes just because it's not quite up to speed, that you can move the needle on it over time and not demolish it on day one.
Got you.
Because there is a market for everything.
Yeah.
There is a market for everything.
Got you.
Well, guys, how we doing?
We're good. Red waves.
Absolutely enjoyed this. Guys, come and find me with maverickoffer.com. And other than that, and Scott, Tab, Ash, come find me. Come, you've been, haven't seen you in a little bit. It would be great to hang out. We're doing the full day trainings now, the Maverick Sneak Peeks, right? And we have one on September 10th. So,
You now.
yeah. So absolutely pop in, say hi. And we have a lot of great discussion. And after hours, we have open mic like this and we chat and hang out with a few beers. So it all works.
The sneak
Yes.
peek, the pop-ins. Yeah, we're good at that pop-in stuff.
Yes,
Crafting the
indeed.
parties, you know us.
Yes, indeed. And so we've also been creating some new trainings and new stuff that we're doing. So yeah, it's worthwhile.
Cool. Okay.
Touch base a little bit more.
Okie dokie.
Sounds
All right,
good.
guys.
All right.
I am. I'm good. I'm complete. Everybody good?
I'm
Okay.
good.
I think everybody's good. Don't forget
Good.
maverickoffer.com to
Okay.
to
Yeah,
schedule
go
some
chat.
time to have a personal one-on-one with Paul,
Yeah.
and he'll take you over to the 5-day of time management training and whatever else comes of it. You'll have a discussion. So that'll be
Thanks,
good for
guys.
everybody that's on the call to
Yeah.
go over there and at least take your time and invest it after you've been here tonight to spend the time with Paul one-on-one.
Yeah, because yes, you really did talk to me, and yes, we do just spend some time and really focused on what's going on with your business. So
Yep.
would be a pleasure. I'll talk to you all real soon.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you, Paul. Can I
Love everybody.
Thanks everyone.
back? I ran into this last time.
I'll talk to everybody soon.
Night. Bye, Tab.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Bye.
We'll chat
Okay,
tomorrow.
thanks. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Here. Oh, it's. Oh.